Money. The complex dance of numbers and emotions. Some have it, others don't. Some have mastered it, while most are still trying to get there. Money may look like it is all about numbers and statistics and equations, but in reality, our financial decisions are about so much more than simple arithmetic. They are made over dinner tables, influenced by ego, pride, fear, and personal history. The real nature of money is finding that middle ground between numbers and human frailty. Money matters are decided not so much by knowledge as by our behavior. Let's get to the human perspective on finance by drawing from Morgan Housel's insightful book, The Psychology of Money. Our financial DNA. All of us grew up in different experiences, shaped in their own way into how we view money. Our generational history might be the same, but different upbringings and different economic environments helped shape our attitudes toward money. For instance, those born in the 1970s experienced huge appreciation of the stock market over most of their lives. Such a scenario boosted optimistic expectations toward investment. People born in the 1950s, however, experienced stagnant markets and have become, generally speaking, much more conservative. Inflationary experiences also vary. People born in the 1960s have experienced a high inflation period and tend to be more conservative, whereas those born in the 1990s experienced low inflation and are less worried about the impact of inflation. Our personal histories inform our financial decisions. What we are aware of and how much we are aware of at a given time determines our choices. Sometimes our choices are simply wrong. However, they are our own circumstances. As Housel notes, people do some crazy things with money, but no one is crazy. The magic of compounding. Warren Buffett is arguably the world's greatest investor. The amazing thing is that $81.5 billion of his $84.5 billion net worth was made after his mid-60s. His secret? He has both skill and time. He started investing at age 10. Compounding amplifies across long periods, turning small initial investments into large fortunes. For context, if Buffett started with only $25,000 at age 30 and retired at 60, even assuming remarkable returns, his net worth would have been approximately $11.9 million, less than 1/10 his current billions. Time, compounded over decades, is what made the difference. The pull of pessimism. Good news, by contrast, tends to be spread out over time. It's slow, steady growth. Bad news, however, has a sense of urgency. The market falls sharply and demands attention. It's prudent to be careful, but also to remember that, in general, good results do tend to predominate over time. Luck, risk, and success. A 1 in a million opportunity in 1968 let young Bill Gates use the computer at Lakeside School and eventually gave him the chance to create Microsoft. There is, however, another face of luck risk. Kent Evans was one of Bill's friends whose mountaineering accident took him away. Success, after all, is a combination of talent, luck, and risk. Appreciating this helps us approach financial decisions with a balanced perspective. The true key to happiness. As Housel puts it, the key to happiness is the ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want. Trying for wealth without directing your time is like trying to fill a leaky bucket. It will never be filled enough. Real wealth has to do with having the freedom to spend time meaningfully, free from worries of finances. Money is complex. Behind the numbers are our values, beliefs, and histories. We must hone the power of compounding, hold a balanced view on risk, and never forget that the ultimate reward of wealth is the time and freedom it gives. Heinz Berggruen, an emigrant from Nazi Germany and a New Yorker, turned into one of the most successful art dealers in the world. He collected masterpieces of impressive caliber, featuring works by such famous artists as Picasso, Klee, and Matisse. In 2000, he sold part of his collection for over 100 million euros. What laid at the base of such success? Was it skill, or was it luck? Successful investors, say market research firm Horizon, purchase so many variations of this artwork that they stick with them for years, patiently waiting for a few to gain fame and value even when most of the pieces at first bring little worth. It's not about right or wrong every time. It's about diversifying a portfolio and letting a few winning pieces emerge. Perhaps 99% of Berggruen's purchases was valueless, but that 1%, such as the Picassos, made his money. These are long-tail events, a small number of outcomes generating most results. Berggruen's biography bears testament to these long tails in wealth creation. This applies much more widely in business and investing. Venture capital is just a very simple example. Most of the companies in a typical VC fund fail, but one or two that go very well pay for all of the others. Amazon is a good example. In 2018, it accounted for 6% of the return of the S&P 500, chiefly because of two tail events: Amazon Prime and Amazon Web Services. These two tail events compensated for many of Amazon's less successful projects, such as the Fire Phone. After the Fire Phone's flop, Jeff Bezos said, "If you think that's a big failure, we're working on much bigger failures right now. Some of them will make the Fire Phone look like a tiny little blip." Bezos embraced the idea that even if most projects failed, the successful ones could drive growth. To wit, long-tail events are normally invisible because we see only the successful outcomes, not all the failures that occurred first. A stand-up comedian's Netflix special is the 1% of the successful jokes. Hundreds of others tried out in small clubs didn't make the cut. Overinvestment tail investments tend to get taken for granted. It is human nature to overreact when things go wrong and lose the big picture. Of the nearly 500 stocks Warren Buffett made, only 10 provided the majority of his success. The long-tail events drive the winning means of great stock pickers and leaders who succeed by getting it right half the time. Staying grounded to the setbacks is better if one accepts that viewpoint. Being rich versus being wealthy. It is very important to know the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Rich represents current income and assets, but wealth pertains to savings in financial assets. Real wealth is that which is saved, not displayed. It can be admired from a distance as well. One may think that he who owns a sports car is wealthy, but this need not necessarily be so. Many individuals exist on a boondoggle as people finance their luxurious lives through debt. It's not what you show, but what you save that constitutes wealth. Accumulating riches requires restraint and self-discipline. All those things you deny yourself lead directly to building your riches. It's easy to find role models who are rich and living large, but real wealth is well hidden and tough to replicate. Value saving and investing over just blowing it on the bright side of town. The next time you see someone else living big, remember, true wealth has little to do with how this guy looks, but more to do with his assets and future investments. The price of victory. Imagine climbing a mountain in order to reach the view from the top. The view is sunshine and rain. One gets lost, and someone gets hurt. What would happen when climbing was actually quite unclear until one got into the middle of it all? With investing, folks have the expectation of achieving success without the price, which is the volatility, fear, and risk involved. According to Morgan Housel, there exists a comparison that can be made between investing and buying a car, buying a new one, buying a used one, and trying to steal it. A new car has high rewards but costs more. Used is safer with lower rewards, while theft represents trying to avoid any cost. People always try to steal in the stock market by dodging the price of volatility, getting in and out quickly to dodge risk. The market's price is not monetary but emotional, as you have to take the ups and downs. Successful investing involves accepting this price as a necessary, not as a burden. If one accepts the market's price, he comes to view it as a fair admission fee to enjoy the journey. Knowing when enough is enough. The principle of hedonic adaptation is the pursuit of more and more, always pushing to reach new heights after the accomplishment of a goal. Ultra-rich individuals like Bernie Madoff and Rajat Gupta had everything in their power, yet they wanted more and resorted to crime to expand their wealth beyond imagination. Never knowing when enough is enough. the pursuit of success turns into an endless merry-go-round. It is like climbing an endless ladder with each step leading to another. Thus, understanding what really satisfies can avoid the endless chase and provide space for happiness and contentment.